My name is Stephanie Everett, and I'd like to welcome you back to the Suburban Chateau, and happy spring. Here we are, it's March, and the birds are tweeting, the trees are blooming, everything's coming back to life for the spring. And I had the wonderful opportunity to go visit my daughters. And the neat thing is, one of my daughters lives sort of right in between our house and my other daughter. So it's a great meeting place right in the middle. She lives just sort of like central part of our state. So it's easy to get to and easy to meet up. And so we thought we would go and take an antiquing weekend. We always love to do this. We'd come in on a Friday and then we kind of really antique hard all day Saturday and then head home. It's a good time to catch up. We have some meals together and we are all avid antiques and thrifters together. That's one thing the girls and I share in common. And so I'm so excited to share that trip to you. This video is entitled Taking a Second Look. And we're going back to one of my favorite antique stores near my daughter, and that is in Moine, Pennsylvania. Now, this antique store is giant. It's 2 stories, maybe 3 stories of antiques. And the first time we saw it, we were definitely, I think, a little overwhelmed. It was so much, and we had already hit 2 stores before that one. And then we went to that one, and our eyes just got as big as saucers, and that was the end. So we thought we would start out at the Antique Mall in Moine. And then if we had any energy left, we would go to some other shops. So we were able to go to our favorite, which is the Bedford Street Antiques in Carlisle, Pennsylvania as well. So I'm so super excited to share this trip with you, and I can't wait to share with you a little haul afterwards. So we got started off, left my daughter's apartment complex, and we saw a train almost immediately. So we're big train fans. My husband works for Norfolk Southern, and you can see some engines going past there for Norfolk Southern. So that was kind of a fun way to start things out. We got to see a kind of a short train. It wasn't too long of a train, but that got us started on our trek to the various antique stores. So after we passed the train, then we had an amazing breakfast. We know that if we're antiquing, we must be fueled properly in order to make it through the day. So we traveled to the Valley Bistro in Enola, Pennsylvania. And Grace, my daughter, had been there before, and so she wanted to take us there. They had amazing coffee. You know, if you're shopping, you have to have the best coffee. And then, of course, there's the girls, and we were having just a great time. I love this cup, ruining diets since 2018, that Valley Bistro. And here we go. The kids ordered very well, though, lots of protein. But I just took some pictures of our dishes because they looked so incredible. And the kids were all good and had nice protein breakfasts. I was terrible. And I went for the peanut butter and banana and chocolate waffles. I'd never heard of anything like that before. So it was very good. And obviously we had some great coffee as well. And then, as you can see from the pictures, it was a pretty rainy day, but here we are at the marketplace. One of the things I remembered from the first trip to Moine is that there was quite a lot of fashion items and especially jewelry. So when I was heading to this antique store, I really had in my mind, I was definitely looking for pearls, and maybe not just traditional pearls, but longer pearls, or gray pearls especially. I was thinking I was looking for. So I was really keeping that in my mind. Also, for some reason, I just knew there were a lot of vintage pieces of clothing at this antique store. So that was another thing I kind of had in my mind. And then it's whatever you run into, and especially if you're a collector, you find things along the way that you always enjoy and always are collecting. And so the very first thing that I spied that I stopped and took a big quick look at was a granny square quilt. And you can see it right there. And I really thought it had beautiful colors, and it really caught my eye from the get-go. And then, of course, looking for more pearls as I was looking around the store. My grandmother used to have some amazing pieces that we've kept in the family. And these dishes right here are the turquoise blue version of what she had. She had the coral edged. But right now, you can always find these Pyrex bowls, the Pyrex plates, very, very popular. I loved this pink jacket in the crochet. And I found that one and tried it on. I thought that was pretty exciting. I sort of wish I had picked up these 2 trays. It was a set of 2 trays. I love that cream background. And if you've watched my channel before, you know that I'm a big toe-wear fan. But I kind of left those there, and that's probably the one that got away from me on this trip. Beat me.
The one bear looks very mad.
Well, let's...
I wouldn't look that one in the eye.
The black bear?
Yeah,
I'm not. Don't look him in the eye. Yeah. That scares me to death. Why would they put them all in one spot?
Well, because somebody collected them.
Yeah, they're cute. Left in China. I don't need it, but it's so pretty. So after seeing all of the great things that we saw in both the Moine store and the Carlisle shop, the Bedford Street Antiques, I thought I'd share with you some of the gems that I brought home. You might recall, as I was sort of talking about the things we were looking for, one of the things I was really looking for, I'm always looking for crocheted items. I love crocheted items. It is something I want to learn. And maybe when I retire someday, I'll get to learn crocheting, but I am always looking for pieces, especially I love granny square quilts. Anywhere I see them, I try to pick them up. So the very first thing that you saw in the video was me finding a granny square quilt. This is a wool granny square quilt that I found. It was $20. I feel like that's the appropriate price. What I loved about this one is the colors. They're just gorgeous. Some bright colors, but a lot of muted colors. I tend to love like grays, and this actual color pink, I'm wearing it right now. I love it. But the nice thing about these are great for summertime to put on the couch. You know, just to cover up. If you want to take a nap, it's light. It's not a real heavy piece. I did notice, I did wash this. And I'll tell you a little bit about how I washed my crocheted items here as well. But I washed it, it turned out great. It looks like there had been one little moth damaged piece. But I have a student at school and I'm hoping she can help me piece that back together. It's a tiny little spot on one of the squares. But I think this is a real gem. I've never purchased one with the black background before. But if you can tell from everything in my room, that black background's gonna really match with a lot of the things I already have. So another thing that I was really looking for, and I really am not exactly sure where I got motivated for this, but I've been really looking at pearls lately. And I've been looking on eBay. I've been looking at gray pearls and cream pearls and vintage pearls. And so one of the things I kind of went to Bedford Street, or not, excuse me, a Moine looking for, and Bedford Street were pearls or long pearls or beads. And I found this exceptional set of very long, they are very heavy, so they're probably not plastic pearls. I don't know if they're glass, but they are super heavy and super long. Easily could double them up or just wear them long, which I kind of like that as well. Wear with a clip, wear with a pin. I just thought they had a lot of options for me for spring. And as I'm going through the spring, this is a great, like just a little accessory. It is costume jewelry. It's not expensive. I believe these were $11 and I got them one of the first things I found at Moine. I ran into gorgeous, gorgeous crocheted sweater. I believe this was $25 and I think it was 25% off. So sometimes you find things. I love the color. It's that peachy pink. I have so many things that match this, but for me, right now in this time of my life, I tend to run hot or cold and hot and cold a lot. And so I like to wear sleeveless tops and dresses, but when it's chilly, then I want to throw a sweater over it. And I love this because it didn't have any closure. So I thought you could leave it open. It would really go with anything. I tried it on and the kids said it looked good. So actually, again, I washed this up. It washed beautifully and it's ready to go for my spring wardrobe. So I'm pretty happy with that one. So the last thing I found just in the last few minutes of being at the Moine shop was another sort of a granny square crocheted quilt. Now I believe this one is acrylic. As I'm holding it, it feels different than the wool and it washed up different than the wool. But I really liked it. I think this was $8. And I just thought it was so gorgeous. And it's got a scalloped edge, a beautiful scalloped edge. You can see there is one little part. It looks like when they finished it, they weren't sure how to finish it off. They left a little string. And again, I'm going to see if my student at school can fix it for me. It's about less than an inch of area that needs a little tidying. And if not, I'll just cut the string off and we'll work with that. But again, I like to weave this into my decor, and you're gonna see this in my Easter and spring decor setup. So pretty excited about this beautiful quilt. We then, once we visited the Moine store, which is awesome, and we then went to one of our favorites, and I always find things at the Bedford Street Antiques. And I found a couple of things there that I just couldn't pass up. I found this beautiful tablecloth, and I use these for decorating, throwing over couches just to give them a different look. I think you'll see this also in my Easter look when I'm gonna be, putting together for Easter. And I love the colors in this, sort of a, that muted pink, that blush pink, gray, green, almost a lamb's ear color. I just think, and then of course a little bit that dark pink, matches. But I just thought it was beautiful. And even if I don't use them to decorate with in the summer, this is such an easy tablecloth to throw over a small table if you're having snacks or something. And I'm always entertaining outside in the summer. So always can use beautiful tablecloth, and no holes, no marks, washed up great. So I really like this one. I was almost done at Bedford Street and I ran into this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful plate. I'll show you a little bit more closely. Didn't see a mark on it in the back, no maker's mark, but I just, the blush pink, again, the florals, it was screaming spring to me. And I love that, that blue. It's practically the color of the wall behind me. And I just, oh gosh, I just thought that was so pretty. I may turn that into something. I may add a little pedestal and turn that into like a raised kind of thing. I don't know. We'll see what I'm going to do with that, but that might turn into something down the line. So I thought it was really gorgeous. And finally, the last thing I'm going to share with you was probably my favorite thing from the whole excursion. And these are the beads that I'm wearing. They are a glass bead, gorgeous. They have a little, you can maybe see this here. I'll try to show you a closer picture. They have hand painting on them and then black beads in between. I've been wearing them nonstop since I purchased them. I just feel like they're my color. I wear a lot of black underneath my outfits during the spring, and they're just gonna be perfect along with those other pearls too. Just something that'll really fill out my wardrobe. I see these as being like a lifelong piece. And now I spent a little more on these. These were $40, but it was kind of something that I thought, this is special. I know I'll wear it a lot, get a lot of wear out of it. It will match a lot of things. It's making a statement that I like to make it with my wardrobe. And so for me, this was a no-brainer. It was just an excellent piece to add to my jewelry. Thank you so much for joining me on this edition of the Suburban Chateau. I hope you got some great ideas. Loved the antiquing and of course our little haul there at the end. We had such a good time and I highly recommend those two stores. There's so many options in that part of the state, sort of the central and eastern part of the state for all kinds of great antiquing and thrifting. So I'm sure I'll be taking you back there probably very soon on our next little antiques quest. Thanks again for joining me here at the Suburban Chateau.